Welcome, everybody. It's your boy, MarkN, MUFC fan. And you know what it is, folks. Smash the likes and subscribe. It's your Premier League roundup today. Premier League Game Week 23. And it was a banger. It was filled with upsets and all sorts of different games. Guys, lots of unbelievable results, including Man United's big result against Arsenal. Back-to-back wins. How long has it been? Yo, it's a different time and it's a different day. And of course, it's Monday. There was a game today. Guys, what are your thoughts? Get in the comments, smash the likes, and let us know what you're thinking. Let's go through the Premier League roundup. And of course, we're going to start with all the other results because the biggest result deserves its moment in the sun. And of course, guys, big up to each and every one of you in the building. Shout out to you guys, and I hope you guys are well and enjoyed the weekend. But let's get right into it. And let's start with Newcastle. Big result for Aston Villa away at the Geordies. And of course, it was not a performance the Newcastle faithful at the tune was hoping for. But Aston Villa certainly showed up with the regards. And of course, late Ollie Watkins header that sealed the deal, pushing Newcastle's lack of punishing Newcastle's lack of cutting edge, folks. Newcastle dominated possession, but lacked quality in the final third. It was one of those things, folks, not reliable for shot creation, and now Villa is firm in the title race, guys. No one would have expected this, including me. I'm not a huge fan of Villa, and I don't respect the villains. I would have said that, you know what, they would be nowhere near the top four. I expected it to be the likes of possibly Chelsea showing, some form of contingency, because guess what, folks? Chelsea has a good team. They were doing some good things, but, in the back room, shout out to Drex in the building, you know what I mean? In the backroom stuff with happening, there was lots of reports, and of course, their manager moved on. And of course, Chelsea has a new manager. They had one or two struggling moments, but they came in and showed up at Crystal Palace. And, it's not one of those places it's easy to go and win right now in the league. Palace has been a strong team under their manager, but, they have sold their best players, but they're still, fighting to stay in the top 10. It will be interesting to see where they land, but that 3-1 result at Chelsea was very, very damning for them. And I mean, Palace showed some spirit, guys. You know what I mean? They tried. They got a goal. They stayed involved. But Chelsea's tempo, finishing proved very decisive. And it's continuing their push to stay in the top four conversation. But they are in fifth right now. Drex, what is your thoughts, bro? What are your thoughts on this game? This game between Chelsea and Palace was an interesting one. What are your thoughts, bro?
Big up, guys. I just think the Chelsea team, maybe the new coach, I don't think it's a manager bounce team. I just feel like the teams they've played, on paper, they were the favorite to win, and they did win. Against the Crystal Palace side, who's having some rumblings in that team right now with the uncertainty of the coach, the noise coming out of Palace and all of that. I expected them to win 2-0, but they took it up a notch with 3-1 victory. Watson getting the red card. I feel like Chelsea, like they say, we're gonna give the manager another 5-6 games to see what he's all about. He just took over the team January here, and he needs because I was looking at him like, yeah, this guy isn't a bad coach as well. He's been able to get good result, not just grind them out, good result. And let's just see. But so far, it's looking good for them. It's not like Chelsea were that bad under Maresca, right? It's just result weren't going their way, and we all knew why result weren't going their way the way they did, because there was a back noise, there was something unstable at the background. But now that they've sorted that out, I expect them to push forward. But we just have to take it game by game. This game against Crystal Palace was a good game. Good win. Gives the manager more confidence about in himself to actually push forward into the league and see what he could do towards the end of the season. But yeah, expect Chelsea to be in that top four mix.
That'll be interesting to see where they land, bro, because right now it's getting really interesting. The battle at the top of the table, the top six, is going through some ups and downs, none more so than Liverpool in this current moment. They can't seem to get themselves on a consistent run. It's been very difficult for them. Shout out to Bally Tech in the building. All the Man United fans are pulling up tonight. Shout out to you, my brother. Big up, long time no see. But let's discuss this Bournemouth game. 3-2, interesting game. Bournemouth led twice, showing relentless attacking intent with goals coming from Ivan Nielsen and Alex Jimenez. Liverpool managed to get one back before the halftime and equalized through a free kick from Dominic Szoboszlai, but they could not stop that unstoppable momentum of Bournemouth. Those players, they run for 90 plus minutes. We have seen it with Manchester United. And of course, we've seen it across the league over the last 2 seasons under Iraola. And they came back and they got that result. You know, Bally, you know, coming in, what are your thoughts on that game? I know you are going to probably laugh at Liverpool, but
Well, there's nothing to do other than to laugh at Liverpool. Let's make that very clear, right? So there's nothing wrong with laughing at rivals that found a weird way to win the league last season without being that great, in my humble opinion. And they spent money, and I thought, oh, they've improved their team. And they genuinely fooled me because I do rate Isak and I do rate Ekatike. So, and I do rate Florian Wirtz. So when they've signed those 3 players, amongst other players like Frimpong, who I felt like he had been linked with Man United, and Kirkes, who had also been linked with Man United, I thought, damn, City, Liverpool, Arsenal, they're going to be like the new powerhouses in the Premier League. And with all that money that they've spent, none of these teams are really head and shoulders above United. They might be better, but head and shoulders better? I don't really think so, you know. Because if you're head and shoulders better, you have to, anytime we play you, you have to make it look like a men against boys situation. And I don't think right about now any of them have the capabilities to make us look like boys. Now, big up to Patrice Evra, because obviously he highlighted like the Gunners are our babies, innit? But moving back on to Liverpool, yeah, Liverpool absolutely got slapped by a Bournemouth who lost their best player. Yeah, slapped by them, right? And they're in this iffy form where the manager that they have, God willing, he signs a 10-year deal and they keep him there. He just he can't really get it together at the moment. And whilst he was playing a different level, I mean a slightly slower style of Klopp's football last season, this season he's transitioned into his Dutch football, and it just seems like the wheels are falling off the cart. So big up to them. They got last minute daggered by Bournemouth. I I was going mad in my house when they scored that last minute goal. I actually felt like the dagger was coming, and the fact that it came in the last seconds, that's what watching other games, other teams play Premier League football is all about. You want to watch your rivals lose in the last second of the game. Yeah, because it gives you a good feeling. It makes you feel warm and fuzzy inside.
Drex, what are your thoughts on that game? I know I watched your Premier League, your possible outcomes, and I think you had a different result in mind for that game.
No, I if you watch, you know, I had Liverpool to actually win that game. I thought Liverpool were going to win that game, seeing that Bournemouth have had a rough patch so far. I think this is their 3rd win in like months, right? So, but like what Bailey said, man, towards the end of that game, even when Liverpool went on level terms 2-2, it felt like Bournemouth were still going to score a goal. When the added time was revealed, and they had this throw, the first throw prior to the one that led to the goal, from the left-hand side, or from the right-hand side, the Liverpool were shaky. They couldn't defend that throw properly. Then he went on for a throw on the other side, which is the frequent. Was it the Keke side now? And bro, I just knew that something was gonna happen for Bournemouth. But Liverpool on the night, the first half was dreadful. I did not expect that from Liverpool. The first half haven't come pulled out from Marseille. You know, they went to France and they got that impressive emphatic win 3-0, right? You expect them to show up at the Premier League and maybe fight, you know, knowing fully well that their records in the Premier League has not been great so far since, right? But the first half was dreadful. See, I know it's the opposition I should be happy, but that first half from Liverpool was nothing to write home about compared to what they had last season. It was dreadful. Second half, yeah, they came back quick fire, 2 goals, you know. And I'm like, yeah, this is the Liverpool that, you know, that we know that like to, you know, put the pressure. Szoboszlai took his free kick very well. When everybody were thinking it was going to go above the wall, he just went beneath and the players jumped and bro. So okay, I think that was the wrong game. But then Salah was there with the equalizer. Then I was like, okay, where is the third goal coming from? Even on the bench, you could see Slot was screaming, was shouting towards the 90th minute. He was screaming and was demanding more in terms of pace, in terms of speed of the ball and how they move the ball. But it just felt like they just felt they were comfortable. They just felt comfortable that the third goal is going to come their way. And it did not come. And I was so excited when that guy put it was just, one could say it was a scramble, but at the end of the day, 3 points is all that mattered. I like the fact that they got daggered at the death of that game. They got daggered. There was no time to actually say, you know what, we could pick ourselves up and maybe get the equalizer here. But man, the first half, Liverpool lost that game in the first half. That's all. Like what Great One is saying there. Yeah, 2 goals in the first half. The third goal, I don't think Van Dijk was really should be held accountable for that third goal. But the first 2 goals, I don't know what they were doing. I don't know what they were doing.
Well, I mean, a lot of people might have disagreed with me at the beginning of the season when I tell them Van Dijk finished. You know? I tell them he left knee turning was looking like a truck in over the preseason. And people was like, nah, you just hated. But now you see it making sense. And a team that we gonna be facing next week, they had a good result. You know what I mean? We had a good result, but they also had a good result against Brighton. And Brighton are no pushovers. You know what I mean? Like, they have a good team. They give us a lot of trouble. You know, we went 4-4 with them 2 weeks ago. And to be fair, like, I mean, I was disappointed by that result, but, you know, we did have a decent performance in that game. And I think, you know, Brighton deserved, you know, what they got at the end of it. But Fulham sent them back in with a 2-1. And I would say that, you know, Fulham looked very strong. Brighton tried their very best to come up with a game plan to attack Fulham, but Fulham was very much in control of possessional play as well, taking advantage of transitional flows. And they was very clinical when they attacked. And I think even though Brighton tried to pressure late, it wasn't enough. And a Brighton team that you would expect to perform much better, you know, not looking too good right now. Bali, I don't know what you think about this Brighton game, but, you know, I think the result was more than justified. I think Fulham probably deserved to score another goal.
I didn't really watch too much of the game, so I don't really want to talk too much about this particular game. But obviously, well, I think, what was the score again?
2-1.
To Fulham.
Yeah.
Fulham done their thing. Obviously, they got, I think it's an Englishman, isn't it? The brother who scored the free kick.
Yeah, that was this guy. The same guy who scored the last time is
Wilson.
Same guy who scored the last free kick against it was Liverpool, if I'm not mistaken.
The only thing I'll say is that Wilson has been looking fairly impressive. One of the better players on the Fulham team in recent weeks. And obviously, if he continues down this path, he'll probably end up at a club that can utilise his talents to the best of his ability. Other than that, obviously, Brighton just they're an up and down team, innit? Like they don't really have any real ambition. They just get saucy players in, they make them look good, and then they ship them out for 100 million. But hopefully the clubs will get together and say no more 100 million pound players from Brighton, because I don't think it makes sense that every time they want to sell someone, they must be in and around 100 million. So I don't really see what they're doing as a club. Grow some balls and have some ambition. And when you start fighting for trophies, then we can start saying, okay, fair enough. You got players in there that might be worth 100 mil. But if you're not fighting for anything, how can you be selling them for 100 mil? So that's my take on those two clubs.
Drex, what are you saying on this
Bro,
game?
I'm just gonna keep it light, right? For me, Brighton deserved a point in that game, but for the brilliance of Harry Wilson, right? I think he scored against Chelsea in the last game, right? So for me, it's Brighton should have at least had 3 goals in the first half. They were, in my opinion, they were the best. So I think it's a game of both halves, right? Brighton had opportunities to actually put themselves double, like 2 goals ahead in the first half. They didn't. They didn't take their chances. Like I was like, you know how Brighton is with clinicality. They didn't take it. You know, if you look at the game, it was a little bit on the stats. It looks a little bit balanced. On eye, because I watched the game, Brighton were a little bit ahead in the first half. Second half, I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened. They just felt like the minute they brought on Chukwueze, that's where the game turned in favor of Fulham. They brought Chukwueze and everything just Baleba played well, but everything just gelled, everything just clicked for Brighton and for Fulham. And this guy had a goal. Welbeck had a goal to feel like it felt to give Brighton the lead, right? But it was ruled out for offside. Then it felt like one of them games where we end up in a draw. Then that guy just showed up and 2-1 2-1 Fulham, and there was not enough time. There was not enough time for Brighton. It was almost done. Brighton just felt like, man, there was not enough time. But I would put it down to them not taking their chance or not fine-tuning their final thought in their first half.
Good for Brighton, though. You know what I mean? They deserve that kind of heartbreak. But them bastards.
Well, but the thing is, why are people? Why? Can hear you now. I hear barely tech. Right?
Nah, bro, I'm mad, bro. I'm mad at them from that 4-4. They had the whole we two draw. You know that 4-4 draw.
No, but Belly Tech is talking about how they don't have a big ambition to actually do anything, right? But there was a statement he made. I hope teams get to find out and stop paying those 100 M's, right? Until then, Brighton will just keep putting out their model, right? It's what they do. So they found a way to stay in the Premier League and as well make money, right? So they might as well do it. Every other team, like the Arsenals, the Liverpools, the United, they win trophy, they have the numbers, especially for United, So even when United are not doing well, the numbers is still in their favor. But for a team like Brighton, bro, this is the only way they know how to.
Bro,
I guess
they're abusing these talents, bro. They're paying these players small money and trying to sell them for 100 million. I'm trying to make 500% on a sale, 1,000%. But hey, Baleba did play well in the game, and I mean to say there are some reports coming out that it could possibly see a Baleba transfer now that Casemiro is going out the door. Possibly United could be moving for one of Stiller or Baleba. A lot of people still linking this brother from Nottingham Forest. I'm not going to say he's not an interesting talent that could come in and improve our midfield, Anderson, but, the price is not right. Right now, United are very much scrutinizing spending 70 to 80 million pounds for 2 players. So it will be interesting to see what the final decision rests. I mean, a lot of people would have expected Man United to go into the market and get some players. I felt like that would be the case under Amorim. However, after Amorim has moved on, I felt like maybe the club might sit down and see what they have and, maybe try to exercise some 1 or 2 players and try to create some outs and then, revitalize in the summer. Now, is what it is. You know what I mean? Nottingham Forest, a different result. I didn't expect this one, folks. I have to tell you all, I would have bet my money that Brentford would have slapped Nottingham Forest even away. This brother Igor Thiago has been interesting forward, one of the top scorers in the Prem. Man, consistent like rain. You know what I mean? It's like a drizzle. He non-stop with these goals. But Brentford struggled. They stuttered. And they failed to find rhythm. They couldn't break down that Forest block, to be fair. You know what I mean? And Forest, they started well and they kept growing in that game, closing spaces without panic, and they executed very smartly. And they definitely dealt with Brentford in the transition. I think, it's one of them results that you hate to see, but at the same time, the team had a good performance. I managed to watch most of the game. I believe it was 75 minutes. But, I think that Nottingham Forest kind of deserved to win the game, as much as I was hating that they was going to win that game. But, it looks like the marriage between Nottingham Forest and Standouts might be very interesting to come in the times. What your thoughts is on that, Bali? I don't know if you watched that game.
Yeah, I didn't watch the whole game, but I watched I was in and out of watching the game. And I did see when Iwonyi scored that goal, when he was just running kind of the length of the pitch almost, and then he cut one player, and then as soon as he cut that player, and another player was running with him. And to me, I just felt like, how did they let him do that? Yeah. And then I just remember the recovering player slid across him, and then he completely missed the ball, missed the man, missed everything. And then he put the ball through the keeper's legs. And I just thought to myself, that was diabolical defending, first of all. And at the end of the day, a team like Forest, they're just doing their thing. They've got some good players. The thing is, Brentford likes to step up when they're facing bigger teams. But when they're facing the likes of these lot, they're nowhere to be seen. I would have, before ball was kicked, anyway, it's 50-50. I won't say Brentford is better than a Forest, because Forest was doing reasonably well maybe a season or two ago, before they sacked Santos, the Portuguese man from the club. So, 2-0, decent scoreline. I believe they deserved it because I felt like they were the better team in the game from what I saw. Just a good 3 points for them. Do you know what I mean?
Not too bad at all, yeah, you know what I'm saying? Nothing more interesting than this result here, to be fair, because, I would say to a lot of people that this Leeds team, I tell them this Leeds team would be a dangerous outfit in the last 18 games of the season. I don't know why I felt that way. I could tell you a slight little thing why, because I watched some of the players playing for this Leeds team play in Germany, play in France, and they played in the Europa League. Some of them played in Champions League. These brothers have European experience. This Leeds team is not the average Leeds team that we would have encountered a few seasons before. This Leeds team have a little bit of pedigree in them, a little bit of experience across competitions. So I feel like, they needed a little bit to get their footing into the league. And the moment they started to settle, they would get some results. And Everton is a decent team. They're one of the better teams in the middle of the pack this season. They've been having some good results. They're scoring goals. Jack Grealish is injured right now, so he's out for a couple of games. But, they've been doing well. I didn't expect Everton to lose at home, especially to Leeds. But Leeds came up big with a decent performance. They showed very good defensive structure, and our winning goal came from their decisive build-up and, of course, a close-range finish. Everton had created opportunities, but they lacked that killer edge, and they wasn't able to get anything from this game. It was disappointing. But I don't know. Drake.
Mark, hold on. Did that game end already? Because on my time it's showing 61 minutes, bro. The game is
playing Everton right now.
Right now, bro. It's on. It's Monday night, late Monday night football.
Oh, Manson. Yeah. I thought that was
the game. It was after. Yeah, no. The time you started the show was half time.
Oh, scheiße. I thought the game was finished, bro.
No, it was halftime, bro. It was halftime.
All right, let's move on. Let me skip on to Man City there because
but on that game, I feel like whatchamacallit? I feel like that Grealish getting injured, man, will hurt them because with him they were having some sort of momentum. Because when they tried down the wing, at least what's his name? Oh, David Moyes. Now he had 3 different ways of playing because previously David Moyes is just to do the whole load the ball kind of thing and wait for the set piece and all of those long balls and all those things. But now I felt like with Grealish, he's got a different way of playing, and with the midfield he has now, he could go even one further. So. But let's just wait and see how that game goes. So far, it is 61 minutes, 63 minutes leads with the lead.
It will be interesting to see how that game finished because I thought the game was done already at halftime. I thought it was finished, to be fair. My bad. But this is an uninteresting result here, folks. I don't want to talk too much about this game. I expected Wolves to get slaughtered at some point. From Man City, but at the same time, yeah, not really. Huh? Nah, that can't be the table. I feel I'm rushing the wrong table, fellas. I need to double check this table. I really need to double check this table.
What are you seeing on the table right now?
Nah, that's a hold on. I don't want to no more, bro. Nah, bro. I can't believe what I'm watching right now. Honestly, watching the table there, and I don't believe in that team at the bottom of the table. Okay. Something wrong here, boy.
What's going on?
Something's terribly wrong. Anyway. So the table getting real interesting, but let me get to the main event, folks, because we haven't spoke about this, but this is the game we have to speak about. And I have to say that, there was a strong, I can't say a strong start by Arsenal, but they started in a decent way. Man United started the game confidently as well, but Arsenal looked to be creating some chances early. And, Man United had 2 chances, wasn't able to take them. Then Arsenal came up with I don't know how to describe this shot from Odegaard because I don't really think it was a shot. I thought it was more like a pass to Julian Timber that Timber didn't reach, and apparently
it was a shot. It was trying to play the ball with the house outside of his left foot. He was trying to do it one time, play the ball outside of his left foot, but it was just a tame effort,
and it was an old goal. And at that point, I was stunned. I can't lie to all the fellas. I was stunned. I was like, huh? What happened there? But Mbeumo come up with a big equalizer in this game. I feel like it was coming. Good pressing from United. And we wasn't always pressing there. We pressed in moments. And I kind of enjoying the way we just deal with teams lately, to be fair, to be honest. We ain't pressing every single moment, but we're pressing in good moments and we're creating that pressure and creating chances. And Mbeumo was able to pick up with that 2 goals in 2 games since he come back from AFCON. It was lovely to see. And of course, the worldie from Dorgu, brother, I would not even expect that kick. And I tell all them man, them all they know, bro. I have been complaining about this brother not showing performances, wondering why we signed this guy. And all of a sudden, in 2 games, this guy is showing up real big with some wonder goals. Yeah. On the top of some very good performances throughout the 90. We're not going to cry on him for the poor header in the second half that lead to the equalizer. But at the same time, brother, where this come from? I don't know. Maybe all you could tell me about it, but I don't understand that. But what is even more surprising is the finish from Matthias Cunha. I was off my seat. I had to say it was our bangers. And I mean, it's against Arsenal in a big moment. And I feel like it was at the right moment, you know. And Drex, you say this many times. We can't play all these brothers on the pitch at the same time. It's too much heads trying to do something. You can't have Cunha, you can't have Mbumo, Ahmad, and Bruno on the pitch at the same time. Somebody had to come off the bench. And unfortunately, it was Matthias Cunha, but the man coming off for the bench with a vengeance. The creation he have coming off for the bench, the percentages and stats is almost double as he 90-minute starts. Maybe that the super sub. I don't know. I don't want to say that. I'm not trying to put him down, but maybe he dies like the scene. What are saying, folks? What are saying?
Well,
okay,
if we're gonna start with if I'm gonna start, I going into this game, I wasn't worried about Arsenal. I was more worried about the Fulham game because I just feel like we do quite well in big games. Now, anybody who's an Arsenal fan in the chat or an Arsenal fan who's either usually on the panel or watches the show, they'll probably be thinking, oh, that's a little bit disrespectful that you're looking past Arsenal. We've done well this season. But in my opinion, I don't really rate what I've been seeing from Arsenal. So I'm more thinking about what my team goes through. We do well in the big games, but against teams like the Fulhams and the Evertons and the West Hams, that's where we start dropping points. So I was kind of looking past you lot, already assuming that we was going to get the 3 points, or at bare minimum we would get a draw. But the reason this is a part of the reason why I was looking past Arsenal when the fixture came around, and I was more looking towards the Fulham game. Bukayo Saka, 0 goals in the last 13 appearances in all comps. Victor Gyökeres, 0 non-penalty goals in his last 11 Premier League appearances. Martinelli, 0 goals in 13 Premier League in his last 13, right? Noni Madueke, 0 goals in his last 25 Premier League appearances. Trossard, 1 goal in his last 11 appearances in all competitions. So this is the big boys in the Arsenal forward line. You can see why I'm not really scared of these brothers, yeah? Even at their home ground. I'm not scared of these brothers, yeah? They have corner kick routines, very clever routines. However, we slapped 3 past City. We scored 2 past City, but we actually could have scored like 6 or 7 goals that day, right? So they got a get out of jail free card with a few dodgy offside calls from the refs. And in my humble opinion, I just felt like, all right, cool. Arsenal's got the clean sheet kings, right? But I felt like we could go there and slap them too. Like, not that I don't rate their defense, I do. But as a unit, Arsenal can be a defensive and sticky team. But I felt like the fact that it's a home tie and their fans are going to want to see them attack at some point, that sitting in and not trying to go for the draw at the Emirates weren't going to cut it. So at some point, they were going to have to attack. And it's the attacking that kind of undone them. Maybe it's the overconfidence that kind of undone them. For our first goal, the pressing structure was unbelievably beautiful. I know people are like, oh, we gave them the goal. No, you didn't give us the goal. Yeah. We pressed you into that mistake. Yeah. If you go back and watch the goal, tell me that pressing is not a thing of beauty. Yeah. Especially, yeah, when the ball went further away and Bruno went to press the man, and then Mbeumo realised the position he was in and he was just waiting. Because if you make a mistake, he's through on goal and no one's going to get anywhere near him. So I loved that first goal. I think that first goal is actually underrated, the way we pressed them into the mistake. Yeah. The second goal, make no mistake about it, this is the fire that Man United are on attacking-wise, yeah? Like, Dorgu is scoring world-class goal of the seasons, yeah? Like, now we got fans making new names for him. They're calling him Ballon Dorgu. They're calling him Gareth Dorgu, yeah? So that should tell you that since the manager has left, this guy has found new confidence in the team. And he looks like a much leveled up player. If he can carry on between now and the end of the season, who knows where he could be in my estimations of thoughts of the player. And and then Cunha. The goal from Cunha, out of this world, on the turn, long range strike, finds the corner, keeper, no chance. Yeah. My God, like, this is what Man United are capable of doing, yeah, when we're in our free flow. And good defense or no good defense, at the end of the day, attack wins you games, not kicking it on someone's legs for corner kicks. Some diabolical football team. These men are not going to win the Premier League, I promise you. I read out the stats. I was trying to be nice to you, man. I read out the stats. Yeah, and I come on here some weeks ago and I was trying to tell the man them, like, what do you think about City coming back and whatnot? And then obviously since then, I think City might have dropped a few points here or there. They even dropped a few points at the hands of Man United, but they would have dropped them points. The big boys are in town, you get me? They would have dropped them points. But you see what's happening now is if Man United could show me that we can beat a Fulham and those types of teams, then I'm sorry, but Arsenal, Man City, Villa, you man was warming up that area of the table for us. Yeah, you were just warming it up for us.
Man,
yeah, we're only 12 points behind the leaders. You man were just warming it up for us, yeah? We're coming for you, man, still. Whoever, like, we're coming. Yeah. So I don't know why the Arsenal man them didn't want to show up today. Yeah. I don't know why they didn't want to show up today. Big up to you, man. Yeah. Obviously, you man done excellent coverage with the AFCON and whatnot. But we had one of the biggest games of the season, yeah. Felt like the whole world watched that game. And now you man didn't want to show up to the roundup, yeah. Fair enough, yeah. You got your ass handed to you. You got bitch slapped by a Brazilian. You got bitch slapped by a Danish brother, yeah. You got bitch slapped all over the park. Odegaard, stinker, hooked, yeah. You brought on, I don't even know. Is he a striker? You brought on one of the most diabolical striker signings I've seen in a long, long time. I thought he was actually going to be a good player this season, but he's clearly got two left feet. He's clearly got two left feet, and these are the feet that he dances with, yeah? He's clearly got two left feet on a football pitch. He plays with Timberland boots, yeah? He was never going to do nothing when he came on against us, when you were throwing him on. And obviously, your manager has taken the confidence away from the attacking players, yeah? So when you guys made all them subs, you brought on Eze, you brought on this, you brought on that. In my head, I'm thinking these men are doing nothing. Everton just scored a fantastic goal. Barry. Yeah, in my head, I was thinking these men are going to do nothing. And they did nothing. Yeah, they scored some scumbag. The goals that they did score were some scumbag goals. Yeah, don't get me wrong. I already told the man them that these scummy goals that they're scoring is unsustainable. Yeah, Bro, their third highest goal scorer is own goals. And the man then think that these brothers are winning the Prem. The man then think that these brothers are winning the Prem with their diabolical football team. No way, bro. The football gods can never allow a team where the third highest goal scorer is own goals to win the Prem. Never.
I don't know about that one, but I don't know about we winning the Prem this season. I ain't going to put that one out there just yet. But I can tell you this one. Stay tuned for the next 3 games because I've been feeling a fresh new win for the longest while, fellas. And I've been telling all you, I feel like a drunk on dubs.
Let me first of all, the man them that didn't show up, I'm gonna try to understand. I know their mental health is not in a good place right now, so they might have to look out for that. But that's why we are stronger, bro. That's why we are stronger. That's why that song, we've seen it all, we've won it all. We Man United, we're never that's why we are Man United. We lose or draw. The mental health is intact. We show up, bro. Yeah, you get me. So it's so we're gonna leave it. Let them take care of their mental health. It's not they never saw that coming. You know, they were full of themselves. They were happy we gave City, we won City on their behalf, and we gave them something to share about last weekend, the upper weekend, but only for them to actually do City the same favor and be like, you know what? You know, you laughed at us. Now we laughing at you. So, but on the game, bro, I'm gonna start with Cunha. That goal. You know what's funny about you know what, I watched the goal again, right? It felt like Cunha was on the bench itching to come on because he's seen that play in his head over and over again during that game. Because look at when he got the ball from Mainu. One move, right? Wow. He just turned one move and he just hit it. It felt like when I watched it the second time, I'm like, this guy must have been on the bench and he must have seen this space and he just been asking, if I get into this position, this is what I'm going to do. I'm not going to, you know, Cunha before, we want to try to drive and see if we could take on Gabriel or something like that. He just turned, he just shot. And I'm like, this is the reason why you have to have some of them on the bench, though. Let them read the game from the outside and see how they could actually impact the game as it has gone, you know? Like when he came on against Man City, you saw what he was doing. Bro, he just knew that he needed to just send the ball into the danger zone. And Dogu, that guy with 5 engines, right? We need to check that guy out. That guy just showed up from nowhere. But, bro, so Cunha for me, I felt like, yo, this is why when I've been saying it, like, I know a lot of us have said it, right? You don't start all 3 of them. You don't start, give somebody, let one of them read the game from the outside. You get me? When he kind of take away the pressure from the man coming from the bench. Because when you start all 3 of them or all 4 of them, it feels like, okay, there's this weight on their shoulder. Like, okay, let's say, for example, Mbeumo is not cutting it. Bruno has to not think, okay, I have to be the man. Or Cunha has to think, I have to be the man. When they start doing that, they start making some mistakes, unforced errors, you know? So I like the fact that Cunha came off the bench and he did that, and bro, it was a good goal. Now let's go to the first goal. Belly talked about the press. I'm going to give you another angle to that. Did you know that Mbeumo was on the he watched Gabriel and stayed on the blind side of Zubimendi? He kind of just read Zubimendi was going to take the ball back to the goalkeeper, and he just stayed on. So Zubimendi did not really see Mbeumo when he was making that play. And that's kudos to the press. Like what Belly said, Mbeumo did Bruno, they already knew. Mbeumo was like, okay, you make a mistake, I'm going to pounce, right? If you get it to the goalkeeper, I'm still going to go press the goalkeeper, right? Whichever one you do, I am still ready. But the way he stayed on the blind side, man, kudos. And it's finished, bro. I was like, in my head, I'm like, left foot. The man just said, no, I'm not doing that. Checked back on his right, calmly passed it into an empty net. And for Arsenal, I felt like the second goal, it was just scrap. It was just a scrap goal, just set piece. And I'm like, I'm not gonna lie. When they were making that first substitution, right? Especially when I saw Eze, I'm like, oh my god! If there's one man that could find Gyökeres, it's Eze, right? If there's anybody that could actually look for Gyökeres in the Arsenal side, it's Eze. But when he came on, I think it was Casemiro who didn't even give him any room
to breathe.
He didn't give him any room, and I'm like, okay, because that was one. The minute I saw that, like Casemiro was always, and if it wasn't Casemiro, Menu was stepping up. I'm like, okay, therefore means Gyökeres won't see anything. We won't get any food today. He would starve in this game because Casemiro is doing the job to cut out the supply. You get me? And bro, oh my goodness, Dogu, we need to check that guy. Like I said, we need to check how many hearts. See, you see, then you let's talk about Ahmad. Every time we're on the ball, Ahmad is stretching the Arsenal defense, like he's making us big on the pitch. He's stretching the player that what's his name? Is he Igni or whatever that guy's left? Incapi. That guy was that guy. He
was out of his depth, bro. He was breathing. You see, he had 75 minutes. He was on the edge.
He was gone, bro.
Glad to come off, bro. He was glad to get off that pitch.
Like he couldn't understand what Ahmad was doing to him. He was, and Ahmad did not just relent. Every time we are under pressure, he always stepped back to help out. And if that's my thing with the likes of Man City, Arsenal, we know how to play these guys. If we continue like this against Fulham, against Tottenham, right, then we will be on to something. You get me? Then we'll be on. I don't know what Carrick has told these guys. It's like he just came and took the lead. So there's they've been under some sort of lead, and he just came and said, you know what, I'm just gonna let the lead off, and these guys just, I know what you can do. Go ahead and do it, but we're going to do it my type of way. It's giving them a lot of confidence. Look at Dogu. Dogu is doing 1-2. The other upper week, it was Cunha, Bruno. Then look, now it's Dogu, Dogu, Bruno, Dogu again, Patrick, Dogu. And you know, it's man, it was a good game. I tell you, like, it was a good game. The fact that Gabriel was on the losing side, man, he made my day, because that guy just felt like he always has this thing about himself, like, oh, he could do anything. Outside the set piece, bro, they don't have anything. Gabriel Jesus was trying to get Martinez on a yellow card, which in my head, I'm like, bro, get out from this place. You get me? When was that Chelsea boy's name came on? Is it Madueke?
Madueke, yeah.
Yeah, when Madueke came on, it kind of gave me a little bit of it kind of scared me a bit, because a little bit of play he had on the right side, he got to, I think, once or twice the better of Luke Shaw. I'm like, okay, Luke Shaw, you need to tighten this up. You know, you need to tighten it. You're more experienced than this guy. You need to tighten this up. And Luke Shaw did exactly that, and that was the end of Madueke. That was literally the end of Madueke.
Don't forget Lamens. Don't forget Lamens as well. He had a monster of a goal.
Bro, that... there was a play that I thought he was in the midst of them, and he came out and he punched that ball. Do you remember that play that got Eze the foul? When Cunha he punched the ball, and it was Cunha or Mbemba was already on the run, then Eze had to hold him down. That punch.
One of the reasons why I say he had a monster of a game, because if it weren't for him, bro, when those balls were coming in, and it's like they crossed the ball, but the way they cross the ball, it's like they try and swing it towards the near post. Yeah, but they swing it in a way where the keeper gets caught under the ball, and then it's in no man's land because of all the brothers that are surrounding the keeper.
Surrounding him, yeah.
So that's how they score them jammy goals. Don't get me wrong. I respect what they've done thus far. I just don't respect the inefficiency of, you've got 2 man for every position. But what's the point of having 2 man for every position if none of them are being efficient with anything? You got Starboy, no goals in God knows how long. You got
It's
Trossard, no
down to
goals in God knows how long. Eze, no goals in God knows how long. These brothers are not scoring goals. They're not doing anything.
I think it's down to when their backs is against the wall, right? They just try to look for that set piece. I think it's the players right now, not more the coach. Because if you look against Nottingham Forest, right? They
Can't
drew
tell
that.
me it's the players.
No, bro, I tell you, let me say why it's the players, right? Because when several times Gyökeres will be on the run, you look for Odegaard to find him. He wouldn't find him. Saka will be on a one-on-one, and there's the brother crying out there for a pass. Saka will try to do that one-on-one, check back on his left, go back on his right, try to cut in and take a shot. And Gyökeres is all wide there. All you just need to do, just raise your head and maybe get a pass, float the ball in, right? They don't do it. So as the game progresses and they find out that it's getting difficult to score, they start going for the antics, which is get the ball wide, hit the man with the ball, go for a corner kick, and try to just break the deadlock with a corner kick and continue their stupidness again. I call it stupidness because you have a brother that can score goals, right? I know right now it's looking like, bro, he shouldn't even score because I wanted this guy. But, you know, a lot has been said about him. I'm not going to defend him. He has his own downfall. But I feel like when the players are on the pitch, everybody's looking to glory hunt. You've seen that clip between Gyökeres and Saka, right? And from the third game in this season, right? From the third game in this current presidency, I already knew that was going to happen. Because bringing in a marksman or bringing a batsman like that, it means that one of your previously your previous batsman or previous important player is going to be under the shadow of this new guy, and nobody wants to do it. Nobody wants to. It's the hero factor. Nobody wants to do that. You get me?
Now you could argue, right, that because Saka is left-footed playing on the right, and because Martinelli is right-footed playing on the left. That they're both like one-footed players, in my opinion, that they don't have the ability to first time pass that ball. That's why they both check in, and that's why Gyökeres gets marked after the fact. So, yes, you could argue that it's the players, but it's the manager that sets these brothers up like this as well, and it's up to the manager. Like, the manager could say, Saka, I'm sorry, you're going to play left. When you get the ball, put the ball in first time. Yeah, you probably see better balls coming in. Same thing with Martinelli. Yeah, they'd probably be better, more efficient playing to the striker. But
let me ask you a
these
question.
men are looking for set-piece goals. That's what they're looking for.
Let me ask you a question, Bailey. When you have the likes of Bernardo Silva, right, playing for Man City, when we even had Mahrez playing for City and they had Aguero in that, the short Aguero, not the tall one now, not the tall striker, right? They could cut into their left and shoot, but they always look for their striker. I'm not saying Saka. I'm not saying Saka is going to be. I'm not saying Saka is in the shadow of. I just said one of the brothers would have to be like, you know what, I have to find you. But sometimes I feel like in finding your striker, you find yourself. That's Mark. We've said this several times. It's not about because it's Arsenal. We've said this several times. We know you are the supplier. We know you can score goal. But sometimes in finding your striker, you find yourself. Because when you do it 1, 2, 3 times, and the striker is the one that is not delivering, then you go, people start seeing you. Like Ahmad. You know, Ahmad does not just... There was a time he was trying to glory hunt, right? But he decided to say, you know what, I'm going to look for my striker. I'm going to look for the next man. By so doing, he's helping himself. He's improving himself. You get me? So for me, I know the man, the Gyökeres is not really cutting it. And this is not me defending him. I'm just saying, I feel like, right? It's just an opinion. I feel like if these brothers are actually looking for him, right, maybe we could actually have make an informed decision to ask, okay, this guy is a bum or this guy is good. You get me? But long may this continue. Long may this continue. If that's the case, long may it
continue. Guys, I couldn't lie to tell all you. When Cunha scored a goal, I think my neighbors wanted to call the police.
Bro, I don't blame you. I was going mad. I was going mad.
Bro, I was going mad, fellas. I can't lie to you, bro. I was like, "Rah!" Bro, I feel that goal like it was me. I won't lie, bro. I feel that goal like if I was in the stadium behind the goal at the Stratford end, and I was like, I know it was at the Emirates, but you know what I'm trying to say, bro. I feel like I was in that moment, bro. Like I was there with Tim scoring that goal, bro. Because, bro, I won't lie. That goal was it. It was it.
Which goal do you prefer to be the winner, though? The Dogu or the...
You see that Cunha goal? I'm going to tell you something about that shot that man
goal.
take there, killer. That shot went dip up and around and dip into the V. Brother, I'm telling you, you tell me the man can score from impossible angles. I never believe it. You see that goal there? I feel I might have to apologize, bro. I'm going to start writing my apology. I'll be honest.
No,
I had two apologies to write. I had to write an apology to he. I have an apology to write to Dogo. I feel like I was right about something, but something else was causing problems. And I ain't going to stick on that comment. I'm going to get vexed. So I just go and say, I will prepare my apologies. Long may the good form and performances continue. Yeah. And I had to get Cunha my man of the match. You see, not just because of that goal, but since the last game, brother, come on and make a block that was, yeah, that was the game day. The man come on and make a block against City last week. And I telling all your fellas, if he didn't make that block, we didn't win that game. Man, them could say what they want. If he didn't block that shot, he didn't win that game. And then he went on to create for the winner. So he have a man of the match from me. Even if he didn't get it for this game, he get it from me. Yeah. I think this performance shows a lot of things about Man United team. And I mean, and you know, people will say like, these players is gear up for big games. But if you look back at the big games, the only big game this season we had a performance like that was Liverpool opening, when we played the opening game against Liverpool in the third game. We got the fourth game week this season and we smashed them 2-1, scored the fastest goal in the Prem. And to be fair, we could say we's geared up for big teams, but this performance against Man City, this performance against Arsenal is a strong performance, you know, fellas. I can't remember when last a Man United team give a performance from player 1 to player 11. And I really can't find reason to say somebody was shit. I had to look and search and real nitpick to say, well, this brother was shit today. I can't. And I'm shocked. I'm utterly flabbergasted by this because it had something is drastic. Something the fans have been missing for the last year because, brother, this ain't normal. This ain't a manager bunks. A manager bunks don't look like this, fellas. Yeah. Everybody having above a 7 for the last 2 games, 90 minutes. I know manager bunks, bro. I don't know if it going to continue. But I would tell all of this. My prediction for the next 3 games is dubs. Dub. Yeah. And I don't know why, but I just see in dubs. I hope this brother don't win them 10 games that I think he going to win. Because if he win 10 in a row, it will be long. And like Bali saying earlier, it has some kind of scene going on. I don't believe in that. But I'm telling all the fellas, he could win 10 in a row. I don't know why, but I swear to y'all, that is my feeling, honestly. And of course, you know how I just do it. If I wrong, I wrong. If I right, I right. It's just how I felt, and that's just what I believe. So I will say what I say. I don't know about
by the way, I'm one of those people who want to take it game by game with the manager, right? And just wants to see how he gets on, right? And I do feel like if a top level elite manager is available, then we got to take our chance on the top level elite manager. However, but I don't want to be in the camp of the manager there's nothing that he can do to retain the job, because if he wins the Premier League, all bets are off. I don't care if Enrique is available. All bets are off. He has to get the job. He has to. Yeah, he's earned it. Yeah, so
But that's for me. I will go a different trajectory. If he wins, let's say wins the league, I just tell him, Carrick, just relax, okay? You've done so well for yourself. Don't put
no, that's
pressure.
diabolical. That's
And not like
diabolical.
Diabolical tricks.
No, bro.
That's diabolical.
Because
bro.
okay. Look
moving
look
left
at
underneath. This
bro,
one
I'm
moving right
not.
above the
I
crutch.
know,
I don't
but
understand.
look at slot. Look at slot now. Things could go south, bro.
But if it goes south, it goes south. He won it. If it goes south, it goes south.
He won
The first
league.
manager to win it since Fergie.
Mm-hmm.
You have to get him on a new deal. If it goes south, you sack him. Simple,
brother.
That's
I just go and tell all you this.
That's the part I don't want.
If he win 10 games, all bets off, bro. I don't care if man them vex. I don't care what nobody says. If this brother win the next 3 games and then win 5 more, it don't even have to be the next 5. Don't even have to be in a row. But if he win this 5 in a row and then win 5 more, yeah, boy, I feel like I'd be in the Carrick camp, give Carrick a contract. Because I don't know about you fellas, it's been a long time since I watched Man United and feel like I watching Man United. I don't know if you understand what I'm trying to say.
Yeah,
I'm not trying to say we're doing anything special.
No, we're not.
But I just feel like I'm watching my team.
It's the fact that
Carrick made us perform BDSM on City, so it's looking good, bro. It's looking good.
5 goals against City, bro. 5 goals against City. Don't do 5. We scored 5
goals against Arsenal too.
So for me, it's that when Arsenal got back on level 10, right? You did not see the head drop. You didn't see like the players were phased about thinking, okay, maybe try to sit deep. No, they just kept about their business. I think that because I looked at the game, I'm like, okay, the home side got back on level 10. The away side is maybe okay. You know what? We got a point. Time is more like 4. At that point, it was 6 minutes more on the clock, if I'm not mistaken, because they scored at the 83rd minute. Okay, yeah, 7 minutes on the clock plus added time, and maybe the away side will be like, you know what? Let's just keep it. Bro, you get me? Scoring 3 goals, yeah. And they just went about their business, and Cunha just said, you know what? I've been seeing this player ever since I've been on the bench. It's my time. I'm gonna do it. And the way he took that ball, bro, I see. If he comes and say no, I just took it once, I didn't, bro, I would say okay. But it felt like something that he has seen, and he's been itchy to come on that page.
Since Carrick come, my neighbors knocking my door when I watching games. It didn't happen before. But my neighbor knocked the bro. All you understand how going on. I think I had to stop doing watch-alongs in my house because with Carrick, something I too loud, bro.
Yeah, I just hope this like against the Man City game. I said I hope it continues into the next one. Right now, we just did this away at the Emirates, like he said, scoring 3 goals. So we scored 3 goals, bro. Against City, we scored 5. Against Arsenal, we scored 3. You get me? So you don't score. Like I used to say, I say this, especially which game did we play where we scored 3 goals and we drew? I can't remember the game, but I said you don't score 3 goals.
We scored 4 goals and draw against Bournemouth, against Brighton.
Yeah, you don't score that kind of amount of goal and don't win a game.
No, that was against Bournemouth.
It was against Bournemouth. Yeah. You don't score that kind of amount of goal and you don't win a game. We scored 3, and it's so clear we need to win that game.
Oh, Brighton was it 3-3 when Krupi scored the equalizer.
So for me, it's we just have to take this into the next game. We just have to take this into the next.
You saying it there? I mean, to be fair, I think Fulham have big worries, bro, this weekend because. We have a good form against Fulham at their ground. I know a lot of people.
They need to show me, bro. Once they show me that they can go and beat a Fulham and look good, they've looked good against City, like they've looked good against Arsenal, I'll say, do you know what? Let's see how the next game goes. If they win another 3 games. Hey, I'm coming back on there with the man them and I'm screaming title charge, bruv. Because
Bro,
we
you
ain't
know,
got nothing else to play for apart from this league. Yeah, we ain't got nothing else to play, bro. We're knocked out of every other competition.
true.
I mean,
Yeah,
bro, I hear you there,
we've
you know, bro. I'm not
we've
disputing. I
got
just saying.
we've got Cunha and Sesko on the bench. These man are itching to be a part of the action.
You
Yeah,
get
we
me?
have
That's
a
what.
team
Yeah.
that is scoring goals for fun. We're not like kicking it off someone's leg and praying that we can swing in
True.
a corner to score, you know.
True.
Like our
True.
forwards are actually scoring goals, yeah, and they're itching to be a part of the score sheet. Not like these brothers that are itching to put crosses in, yeah. So I'm telling you now, if we're able to beat, like I said, the likes of a Fulham and an Everton and a West Ham and yeah, title charge. So title charge for me pending, yeah, pending further investigation, yeah. But if these men go and do what I pray they're doing, title charge is coming, bro.
Bro, I just want to hear the cultists apologize, bro. I here for it like Joe.
Mark
I
is not
be
really. Mark is not really.
nah,
It's not.
bro. You know I had it.
Okay.
Anytime we hit
Okay.
5 to 10, anytime we hit 10 wins, yeah, before the season finish under this manager. I will
I know.
have
I
a
know.
stream
I know. Great.
dedicated. I will
I know. Great.
dedicate a stream to the cult because
No,
you
it's
see this
Mark.
cult.
It's not about cult,
Nah,
bro.
bro,
It's
it's how
not
to
about
get
cult.
called out, bro. I have a cult bro. I know it to like, I know in my country, I have a cult called the PNM, bro. You know what I mean? So I know it looked like, and it was looking like that, bro. But let me just mention the next week's fixtures, guys, because we will be reacting to this next week. Hopefully, the Arsenal fans and the other fans will be there.
Bro,
You know
Arsenal
what I
playing
mean?
with Leeds. Oh my goodness, that's a good game to keep an eye on.
So it's going to look like this next week, guys, for the Premier League. For those of you interested, Brighton and Hove will be taking on Everton. That will be the opening game of the
Oh, by the way,
weekend.
Everton ended that game 1-1. So that game ended in a draw.
Yeah,
Everton
they came
did
What
back
you
and
fine.
saying?
equalized.
Liverpool could drop further points again.
Well,
Jeez.
we'll see because Leeds taking on Arsenal at home. It's not the easiest thing to go down in Leeds and play in that cold Daltron. You know what I'm saying? That they call Turf Moor. But at the same time, Wolverhampton Wanderers will be taking on Bournemouth. It could be long for Wolves because after that result with Bournemouth against Liverpool, they will be coming out firing. Chelsea has West Ham at home. It could be long for West Ham. Newcastle looking to bounce back. I don't know, It's not they are United at the end of the name, but I know if they could go into the club
Bro,
and get results, bro.
those guys are playing some sort of dab. I don't know what they're playing, bro. I really don't know what they're playing. Like, you expect Newcastle to be somewhere in between 8 and 10, but it looks like, bro. Man said he made us believe Dogo was shit, bro. It's that was
And great one. I deal with you, King. I deal with you because, brother, I was right. I wrote off that youth man, and I was crashing it on this youth man. Bro. I telling you, yeah. I feel like this brother make them players look like that. I don't know. But
let's say this. Do you think if Liverpool lose against Newcastle at home, do you think that might be? Do you think Klopp would see out the season? No, sorry, Slot would see out the season, or because I want him to see out the season.
He win a Prem, and winning a Prem is a serious thing. I feel like we had to take a step back here.
Okay.
As much as we just aggravate and get hyped as fans on football and things, a man can win a Prem and all of a sudden he's shit. Now, what could also be true is that the team finding a hard time adjusting and rotating. It have a lot of personalities in that team, bro. Salah probably needed to be sold this January, bro. They need to get rid of that. I think that is a big problem in the team. Because to me, when he was not there, they was on a winning streak. And since he come back, they ain't winning. So it's one of them ones there where sometimes it's had to move on some players because you bought a lot of good talent in the summer. You spent 500 million. Of course, you expect to play well and double up on what you did last season, probably after bolstering. But sometimes player chemistry is a serious thing. And let me not get it twisted, fellas, because Etekite is a big player. They have some decent players, so Bosla is getting with these free kicks regularly. You know what he drinking right now, but he on a very good ratio for free kicks this season. They have other players. I think what they majorly lacking was a core defensive partnership that was able to carry on. Van Dijk is past it, and I keep telling him,
Kerkez look like the man is making Kerkez look like a crap player.
Kerkez is looking mostly like that because of the centre back partnership. The moment let them give Mickey Van der Ven, and you understand.
Bro, I don't want them to get that guy, bro. They should.
Well, look. They tell him about Kerkez. I tell you, if they get Mickey Van der Ven, you will see a different Kerkez. Sometimes that's how it is, bro. And
I don't want them to get that,
bro. And I watch what I'm saying to all, yeah, bro. Look at Man United. Now I'm saying I want to see 10 more games before I really see something. But like I keep telling man them, yeah, chemistry don't happen overnight. And sometimes players, when they're all together and there's a scene, they don't always function right as well. So it's another interesting one looking at this situation. And if you even compare it to Man United last season, Man United was going through a drastic change in formation and tactical style and in the way the player profiles was interacting with the pitch. And look how much we struggle, bro. And it's not so different for Liverpool right now. Currently, I'm not trying to take up for Liverpool, but I'm just giving him an honest opinion. This guy win a Prem. A lot of managers ain't coming in the first season and slap up a Prem. You understand? Mickey Van der Ven might be, you might say so, bro, but then
if Harry Maguire is going, you better.
I could tell all in now. We is not a team that like to shop from Tottenham Hotspurs. And the mere fact we're doing well could be a big problem. Shopping at Tottenham Hotspurs. They might be looking for 100 mil for Van der Ven. But I mean, I ain't stressed. I think there are options, you know. We can always swing for the Amadi, you know what I mean, Ignacio. I hear some rumblings of Scalvini is back and ready to come to Man United this season after regaining his full fitness and scoring 3 goals in his last 3 appearances for Atalanta. I don't know, but we will see. I would like to take a chance on the next Maldini, Giorgio Scalvini, but anybody could give their opinions on any player that come in. Well, let's hope they do their job. At the end of the day, we want to improve and go forward. And I mean, Jose win a Prem at Chelsea, bro, and get sacked twice. But Jose was doing madness with our Chelsea team, and bro, you can't say that. Ranieri didn't win the Prem in his first season, bro. Don't move mad. Don't move mad. He did win, but he didn't win in his first season. And
Ranieri didn't win it with Leicester in his first season.
Ranieri first season in the league wasn't with Leicester, bro.
Oh, okay.
You forget Ranieri was Liverpool coach, either Liverpool coach or Chelsea coach before he was Leicester coach.
Yeah.
So I mean to say, you know what I mean? So you can't say he won it in the first season because he was a coach for a bigger team before that in the Prem. So interesting. It will be. Let's see how it goes. I mean, Man United doing very well, and at the end of the day, this is what we're here for. And of course, you know, this weekend was certainly interesting. I hope next weekend is even better, because realistically, what it will look like with a better Premier League weekend will probably be the likes of, you know, some interesting upsets and performances. And while, you know, we always want Man United to win, of course, win, lose, or draw, we will still be here. So big up to everybody watching. Shout out to each and everyone who came in tonight. Big up to Bali Tech, big up to Drex, big up to Great One, big up to Joe Blackman, and of course, Frankie, Glory Man United. Shout out to you guys coming in. Big up to Hayden Pro as well. And guys, don't forget to smash the likes and subscribe.
Before you wrap up, before you go, Mark, let me just say this. Guys, go watch the Dogu goal again and see that we had the ball and used the ball in getting that goal. Go watch that game. We had the ball, we had possession of the ball for about 2 minutes or a minute and 30 something seconds, which led to the goal. I just wanted to just say that it was a good team goal, bro. I can't even get that goal off my head, bro. Man, guys, we hope to do this again on Fulham, against Fulham. We hope to do this, bro. Oh my goodness,
brother. I just telling all in now. You know, if this brother go on to 10 wins and in the summer And I don't want to tell all the kind of transfer window we could have this summer, you know, because it's starting to look a little bit like a fairy tale. But we'll move on. Transfer news coming on Friday, folks. Stay tuned. You know how it goes. Big up to you all. And of course, shout out to everyone watching. We'll be back tomorrow with some more updates and of course more talks. Of course, we'll bring some transfer news as well. You know what I mean? So, folks, you know, this was the Premier League roundup for Game Week 23. Of course, 24 is on the way. Hopefully, the guys will pull up then. Of course, Man United 3-point collectors now, so it's always going to be a tough weekend. You know what I mean? I don't think the rival fans want to come in when United wins. I think they think we have too much chest for them, but they don't know what it is. So it is what it is, folks. Catch you guys later. Peace out.